guys, I got a little star. It's so cute. Alright, so it's Magical Mandy, and I am here continuing, I guess this is my third video in the series, VR to Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, my girl. She did a hashtag GetToKnowAWitch. And so I've done two videos. 1 through 6 was the first video. Questions 7 through 11 or 12. 11 was the second video. And so here we are on the third video, starting with number 12. The question was, are you in a coven or are you solitary? What are your experiences, good or bad? And do you think a witch can be in a coven and still practice solitary? Also, what number makes up a coven? What are your opinions on all that? So, at the moment, I am solitary-ish. I was in an official coven. And we went really strong, like we were meeting for like the Sabbats and the moons and once a week for just sat sayings, and it was so amazing, and I love my coven sisters so much. And I think there were like 8 of us, and we always said, you know, we didn't want any more than 13 members just because, you know, that's kind of the maximum, and it would be hard to like get everyone together and kind of be on the same page and everything. And we had so much fun. Like, we had huge dreams, and we'd have craft nights and stuff, and we just got into some really awesome magic. But it was easy last summer when I was off work because I'm a teacher, and I knew it was going to be really hard once I started back to work because I'm tired. 8 o'clock's my bedtime. But like, to really get in with the moon, you know, you want to wait till it's late and dark, and I'm grumpy and tired, and it was so hard. And so we ended up, and it was hard getting everyone together because we all have lives and we all have families, and there were 8 of us, you know. And so we would end up like doing like Facebook groups and like Skype kind of things, like video calls as our coven meetings, and it just got harder and harder to get together and everything. And so we kind of respectfully and lovingly went our own ways. And I'm kind of, part of me, I miss the fellowship and the sisterhood, which we're all still friends, and we all still, you know, talk and everything. They have like drum circles and stuff we're all going to go to together, and things like that. But although I do miss the sisterhood, like, it's really nice to be able to, on the moons, the SBETs, to be able to practice magic my way instead of like what the group may want to do. So that is something you need to take into consideration if you're thinking of joining a coven. You know, you have to kind of go with the flow and play well with others, and maybe not get to do your magic the way you want to. Now, I strongly believe that even if you're in a coven, like, you can still do your own daily magic. Like, magic needs to be a part of your life every day, just to survive in the mundane world. So of course you can still have a solitary practice and still be in a coven. Now, me and a couple of friends, you know, we're thinking, hey, we kind of have this little coven thing going where, you know, we research together and everything, but it's more like we just call ourselves a coven. Like, we don't have like any rules or any like mottos or colors or anything, like my old coven. So it's just more, you know, everyone is themselves coming together, and I like that. I like being free. I enjoyed my time in the coven, but I'm not sure if I would ever like be in a like serious coven with like guidelines and rules and everything, because I think a lot of the time that's why we are practicing witches, is to get away from all the rules and guidelines. I mean, in the mundane world and in organized religion and everything. So that is my take. But also on the amount of people that can be in a coven, I think it's whatever. I mean, I'm not like Wiccan. I think like organized things like that might have their own ideas, and that's super cool. but I just want to be free. And like I say, me and my friends, we just, you know, have our little learning coven, and it's just the three of us. But, you know, who knows? I mean, I think it's whatever you make it. It's like witchcraft. Witchcraft can be for anybody, just like a coven can be anything for anyone. So that's my take on it, and I totally respect if you disagree, and I'd love to hear if you disagree, because that's how we learn from each other. All right, number 13. What is my current and my previous occupations? And what is my dream job and why? So as you all know, I talk about it a lot. I'm a pre-K teacher and I love it. It's the best job in the world. I get to do arts and crafts and dance and sing and be immature and have fun with 4-year-olds who are absolutely the wisest people in the world. Like, I swear one day I'm going to write a book about things that 4-year-olds say, because they've got some profound insights and perspectives. And I love it. I've been working in pre-K for 14 years, and I really just, it's the perfect job for me. It's definitely been my calling. I always wanted to be like an artist, and I can incorporate art and creativity into that, so that's totally good. Previously, before that, I was a substitute teacher and a daycare worker, so I've always worked with kids. Like, I was even a Sunday school teacher in my church as a teenager, so I mean, I've been called to work with children, and I love it. But it is hard. It's very people-y. And the older I get, the less people-y I like things. I like people from afar. I'm a hermit, and I like my personal space, and, you know, I like to live in my dream world. Nothing wrong with that. We make our own reality. But I think, like, I would love, like, I can retire in 6 years, and I would love to just get a pottery wheel, have my own little craft studio, make my own pottery and my own art, and sell it, and go to like markets and art festivals and things like that, and just sell my art. I want to live like, I want to run away and live in a treehouse, or, you know, have a little hippie commune or something, and just make art and be free and do that, and like my passion be how I survive, you know, so I never work. I just flow. I just think that's so beautiful. But then also, another dream job I have is I really want to, like, I've always wanted to, like, train animals, but now I have my friend, Arachnid Alley, and she's an amazing dog trainer. Like, she's trained all my dogs, and she's the treat goddess, and the dogs worship her, and she's absolutely fabulous. And so now that I have her in my life, like, I wouldn't have to train the dogs. I could just work with her, like, if I'm dreaming, you know, and we have just all the funds to do this. We could just work together. She could train the dogs, and then I want to take them, like, to the hospitals and to the nursing homes and everything, and do the dog therapy. Like, I think that's the most beautiful, amazing things, and dogs are such a gift, and they're so good at things like that. So that is my dream job and what I would love to do one day. Who knows? Maybe in another life. All right, number 14. What does money mean to you? Explain. So after my divorce, and the reason I stayed in a horrible marriage for 12 years is because, you know, I was afraid that I wouldn't be successful because of money, or I didn't have enough money to support myself and my child. And then when I did finally get divorced, money was like the safety net, you know, and we're inundated with that, like, brainwashed that we just can't survive without money. You know, money is nice and everything, but we have to learn not to depend on it. As I've grown and matured, and I've found more inner fulfillment, I've realized that my worth is not based on how much I have in my bank account. And I'm almost 40, and it's taken that long to learn that lesson. Like, pay my bills, I do what I have to do, and if I don't have money to play, is that gonna mean that my life is miserable and I'm miserable? Not anymore. Maybe when I was younger, yes. But now it's like, you know, it's just a tool. And when it runs out, I still live my life and I still have my happiness. And I look back at how I used to be, how I used to think about money, and how it would have killed me. Like, I would have been filled with dread, wouldn't have been able to sleep once the money ran out. But now I just keep on trucking, I keep on making beauty, and I know that the universe is gonna provide. So that's how my thoughts and perspectives on money have changed as I've adulted. So yeah, it's just a tool. Don't let it be anything else. It's just a tool. Do we need tools? No, we don't need them. They help, but we don't need them, and we shouldn't rely on them in our magic and in our mundane life. All right, number 15, let's talk media. What are your top 10 favorite TV shows and why? All right, this was a hard one because I don't watch a lot of TV, so I had to go back to like the past, what I used to enjoy. But I do still love The Walking Dead, love it. I like Fear the Walking Dead. And I love anything on Animal Planet, like Animal Cops. Animal Cops Houston is my favorite. Any of the Animal Cops is good. And I also love like anything like supernatural. Like I love Castle Rock. I love True Blood. San Clarita Diet. Drew Barrymore is a goddess, and I love her. And then taking it back old school, I love Nip Tuck. That's like my little dirty little secret. I like Nip Tuck. I love ER. Oh my gosh. ER is my life. Like, I love it. I could watch it for hours on end. And another show I love that I could watch for hours on end is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Just put it on, I'm good for the day. Lethal Weapon, the new Lethal Weapon, oh my gosh, like, my husband got me watching it, and I'd heard of the old movie, and I was like, this is gonna be stupid. I don't like old action movies. Why am I gonna like this TV show? But I don't know what it is, but that show, even like last season and the new season with Stifler, it's amazing. I am addicted to it. I love Bates Motel on Netflix. What else? I don't know. I love The Flash. Like, I love The Flash and Supergirl and that kind of stuff. It's cute. So, anyway.
Who's inside today, guys? It's Aries. He is like, what is this magic room? Look at the size difference between Briggs and Aries. Hey, where are you going? You don't want to say hi to your fans? Look how huge he is. There's a beast in my house.
Okay, so number 10 is, what are your favorite nonfiction books? Or no, it's not number 10. I don't know what number it is. It's part of the media one. Anyway, 15, I guess. What are your 10 favorite nonfiction books and why? Like, I don't know. I don't read like nonfiction. Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, A Green Witch. Let's look at my bookshelf and see. Like, I couldn't even make a list on that because I was like thinking like, ew, autobiographies? Who reads that? But no, let's look. Alright, so I have Grimoire for the Green Witch by Anne Mura. That's a good one. Let's see, The Crystals book, All About Crystals by Jeannie Harding. Rodale's Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs, and of course the Herb Bible. Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. Folk Remedy Encyclopedia. What else do I have? Essential Aromatherapy, that was my mommy's. Warwood, and then The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley, and that's a good one. I guess, yeah, that's nonfiction. Yeah, so, I don't think it's quite 10, but that's what I got. That's what I'm working with. So, my bookshelf is a disaster. I read much more fiction. But I these are like resources, like references, I would say, more than anything else. But look at all those. Fiction, fiction, fiction. Alright, so next, what are your 10 favorite movies and why? So my favorite movie of all time, forever and ever, is Interview with the Vampire. I saw that when I was, I don't know, 13 or something when it came out. And it changed my life. Like, puberty, hello! And to this day, I just love it. It's definitely my movie. It's my perfect aesthetic. It's life. Alright, but then I also love, I guess it was late 90s, early 2000s with Sandra Bullock, Forces of Nature. That movie, she is who I want to be. Just free and crazy and wild and quirky. So that movie really speaks to my soul. And 90s movie, maybe early 2000s. I think 90s, Foxfire with Angelina Jolie. It's a very 90s movie, very girl power, I love that. And then, of course, I'm all about Stephen King, so anything by Stephen King. The Stand, definitely number one. Needful Things, The Mist, anything by Stephen King. And then, oh my gosh, Poltergeist. Poltergeist was the movie that scared me the most. And, if I'm not scared, I'm not entertained. At all. My husband, oh, you guys, he does not watch horror. He watches comedy and action. I'm just oh my gosh, this is so muggle, this is so mundane. I need, monsters and ghosts and psychological thrillers and everything. So, anyway, Poltergeist, nightmares for months. So that's why it's one of my favorites. I love it. Also, I Am Legend. I used to see the monsters outside, and I was an adult. My kid was 10 years old. It was just a few years ago that came out, but I would still see those zombie vampire monsters outside my window. Is great. I love it. And then on the other, I'm oh, I'm all about horror. But then let me tell you, one of the top 10 is definitely Inside Out. That movie, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. That movie did so much to giving us the words and the platform to understand our mental health and to be able to teach our children. I use it in my classroom. It is such an amazing, phenomenal, groundbreaking movie. And I'm so glad that we're in a place in society when we can delve into the mind like that. And I feel like that movie was just so ahead of its time. And to be just a kid's movie, it's magical. It is magical. Inside Out, definitely one of my top 10 favorite movies. I'm just really glad it was made, and I'm proud of humanity for making it. So number 16, thoughts on Doreen Virtue and Aleister Crowley. I didn't know who Doreen Virtue was until all this thing, and I did read a lot about it. I watched a lot of witches' perspectives on it, on how it just shook their world, and I can totally understand that. And I feel well, I don't know anything about her, but I feel like the way she did it might not have been the most tactful way. But I'm a Christian witch, and I can't understand her way of taking it, but I do understand the struggle between, wanting to follow this magical path that feels like such a part of who you are, but then what is the true God versus what is the God of the church and society, and it's all very confusing. I wish I could talk to her and kind of help her see it is possible to do both, and just because loving one doesn't make one evil, but that's all I don't know. anything more in depth. I just know that she's hurt and disappointed a lot of people, and I think I've heard that she's still like accepting money for like her tarot cards or whatever she made. And if she's denounced all that, but she's still taking the money, then that's not right. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough to really form an opinion. So to each their own. And really nothing humanity does surprises me anymore. And on the other hand, too, with Aleister Crowley, like, I know only little things that I've heard and read. Like, I haven't researched, and I guess I need to. And this will probably inspire me to do more research. I feel like he took it to more of like a dark place. I don't know, maybe based more on ego. But look at me, guys. I am a total fluffy witch. Like, my witchcraft is cute, and like, I don't really get into the dark stuff. I can, and I want to know about it, but I'm also a Christian witch. So as such, I do believe in like evil spirits and demons and things like that, and I think you have to be careful. And but that's me and my path. I don't really want to go into it to a lot of detail because I know there's a lot of adverse opinions on that. But I just think like he's probably maybe took it to a dark place. I don't really know, but that's not to say that everything he did should be avoided like the plague. You know, I'm sure he had some wonderful magic and some wonderful ideas, and really I don't know enough to have an opinion. So I'm just gonna do some more research on that, but it's not something that I've like based my practice on or anything, so I don't know. Number 17, what is your spirit animal? And have you ever owned this animal? So like, that y'all know my magic is all about animals. I'm an animal lover. I'm obsessed with animals. Animals are a daily part of my life and my magic, and y'all know my whole let me show you my skunk journey from seeing the skunk. So I've got my skunk energy there, and my skunk skull is in my bedroom, and I use that energy. But the skunk spirit just came to teach me a little lesson that I needed at a particular time in my life. But the animal that I think is the most with me, and that I look at with the most peace and spirituality is the cat. When I went to a mental health seminar for work, and they had us visualize, like, if we're having a stressful day, you visualize your happy place. And mine was in this beautiful garden. I was on a hammock, the birds were singing, and there were like cats. There was a cat purring at my feet, you know, and visualizing the cat just, I mean, it spoke to my soul. It made me feel automatic peace and zen. And so I had to go out and get a cat. And it was amazing. And I love having cats. And they are very spiritual creatures, very, very magic. And you just get the sense that they're in tune to the spirit world. But in my life right now, because of Aries, you saw my big old mastiff, I can't have cats. Plus my husband doesn't. We've only been married like 2 years. So since I married him, I haven't been able to have cats, and it's been really hard. So I really call on the spirit of the cat to find that peace and that zen, like that visualization. The cat is still with me. But I did so I thought the cat was like my spirit animal, but I think it's just different energies, and different spirits have different lessons for you. But because of like loyalty and mystery and strength and just perseverance, the wolf is my true animal, spirit power animal. I did a guided meditation to be able to meet my, my power animal, and it was magical. I cried in my video when I told y'all about it, because I was so surprised, you know. And now the more I think about it, like, the wolf energy has been with me all along, like my whole life, for sure. And so that's really magical. And so yeah, I've never owned a wolf, but I do own dogs, and I will always own dogs, and always have owned dogs. So it's not the same thing, but it's close enough. I think that's one of the beautiful things about wolves, is that you can't own one. You know, they're wild, they're free, and isn't that what we are at the very core, at our spirit level, you know? So I think that's beautiful. All right, so 18, what are your current pets? What was your first pet, and would you ever like to own an exotic animal? So I'm an animal lover. I've always had tons of pets. When I was married to my ex-husband, we had a small farm. We had horses and goats and pigs and chickens and all that. And I miss having all of those animals. But I have 3 dogs currently. You know, I have Briggs, the one-eyed beagle American bulldog mix. And he's amazing. He's an old curmudgeon. He's like 11 years old, but he's still so spry and so scrappy. And then I have Apollo, who's my dog, and he's absolutely psychotic. He is so crazy. He is half chocolate lab and half blue heeler, and that is a mix that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Like labs, you know, they have that strong work drive and they're athletic, and then heelers, Australian cattle dogs, they are non-stop. They're hardy, they're work animals, they're bred to just work, and it's like the Energizer rabbit that just never stops. But because he's just a pet and he doesn't like have a job, and we don't hunt with him, like, he's gone neurotic. Like, he's obsessed with his ball. All he wants to do is play ball, and it's just like non-stop, and he's just psychotic. He's psychotic. Some breeding just should not happen, but I love him. He's my baby, and he's about 80 pounds. He's huge, and nobody else loves him. He wants to kill everybody else. I mean, he likes my husband and my father-in-law, but other than that, oh my gosh, everybody's scared to death of him because he'll just like froth at the mouth wanting to kill you. It's my baby. Aww. And then we have Aries, the Mastiff. He's our baby. He's only 3, and he's about 150 pounds. And he's just the biggest old cuddly old baby, but he'll also kill you too. So those are my pets now. I have some Madagascar hissing roaches for my classroom. They're really cool. They're really fun. And I'm borrowing from my friend a pet snail. And I've had tarantulas and like mice, and I've got my ferrets, my 3 ferrets, Whimsy, Weezer, and Willow. They are amazing. I was 36 when I got my first ferret, and I was like, how have I lived my life without these animals? They are hilarious, they are so entertaining, and they're so exhausting because they just never stop the shenanigans, but they're wonderful, and I love them. So yeah, I've had exotic pets. I wouldn't mind having a snake one day, but I think my husband would divorce me if I did that. Alright, number 19 says, define magical familiar, and have you ever had one? Tell the story. I don't know. I think I haven't. I had this cat one time that showed up, and it just like on the screen door, let me in, I'm here now, I own you. And it was pretty funny how that cat just came and lived with us for a few months and then left. And it was when I was in junior high, and I was going through a really hard time, and I think that cat came and helped me emotionally get through that time. And then when it was done, and the cat left. We never found it again. So as far as like an actual familiar that actually helps, you know, I call Briggs my familiar because he lays there and he's always like by me when I do magic. But as far as like actually helping to do magic, I don't know. But I'm open to one. I would love that. So anyway, because you know I'm all about animals. But let's see, what is next? Okay, so number 20, what is your personal dress style? And do you follow trends or do you start? I have always been like so particular about how I look and dress, like to a fault. Like, I guess it was vanity. But now, like, I'm pushing 40 and I'm 40 pounds overweight. My doctor says I need to lose 40 pounds to get to my ideal weight because I'm only 4'11", so I have a very tiny bone structure, and the extra weight really does wreak havoc on my body. So I don't really, like, I don't wear pants. I am Mandy no pants, just because they're not comfortable, and I just like to be loose and free, and I don't want constricting tight clothes, you know. So I now really, I mean, I want to look cute, and I do look cute, but comfort comes first. Whereas my entire life, it was definitely form over function. So, but not anymore. I'm getting old. I'm just like, whatever. I'm too old to care. My husband loves me. I take care of myself as much as I can. I'm cute. I'm clean. That's all I care about. So, like, I wear, like, the most comfortable, like, dresses and just a cardigan and my flat shoes, and it's my personal style, and I love it, and I don't care. Like, I wear a lot of the LuLaRoe dresses, and they were really, really popular there for a while, but I think they're kind of not as trendy as they used to be, but I don't care. That's like my entire wardrobe. I have enough of those Carly dresses. I could wear one for like probably a month and never wear it again in the same month, you know. A different one each day in the month is what I'm trying to say, because I just love them. They're so comfortable, and I think now people see me and that is how they see me, you know. I'm always wearing a Carly, and we have like free blue jean days we can wear at work, and I'm like, who wants to wear blue jeans? Who wants to torture themselves like that? So anyway, I don't really care about style as much anymore. And now I'm a witch. Oh my God, you guys. That's one of the great things about being a witch. You can do whatever the hell you want. And people will say, oh, she's crazy, she's quirky. And it's just awesome part of the experience. So I don't even care anymore. I wear my crystals. I got a pendulum necklace. It's amazing. So being a witch, yeah, who cares? So, it says, how has your style changed over the years? Like, how did I dress up to age 5? Like, when Mama dressed me. I don't know. Mama put me in some crazy stuff. My mom's off the wall anyway. Crazy runs in our family. So she probably just put me in, like, I think she made some of my clothes. Yeah, I think she did. Anyway, up to age 8, when I started kind of dressing myself, I remember I was still, even then, you guys, now that I think about it, even then, like, I didn't like wearing blue jeans and stuff. I would wear, like, cloth shorts. Of course, it was back in the 80s when that was kind of cool anyway, or, you know, kids' style didn't really matter as much then, but I was all about comfort because I was playing outside running, and I wanted to get dirty, and I didn't want, you know, to dress fancy. But then around, yeah, probably age 12, puberty, I started kind of caring a little, and I would wear blue jeans. Of course, I was tiny, tiny, tiny back then, so blue jeans would, like, basically fall off of me. And then 15, yeah, I definitely, like, my style in the 90s, I would, like, wear the, like, boot cut, like, flare leg jeans with the holes in them, and, you know, the, like, funny shirts from, like, Gadzooks and stuff. Like, I had one, it was so funny, I got from Gadzooks. It had the little vintage, like, old style boy and girl, and the little girl was looking in the boy's pants. And it said, little things mean a lot. I thought I was hot shit in that, let me tell you. Until I ran into my youth pastor from church. Oops. Anyway, that was great. And then of course, 4'11", I was always tiny, and so I would like wear like platform shoes and stuff. But then like I had my kid when I was 20 years old. I got pregnant when I was 19. So then I like couldn't afford to care how I dressed. I just dressed with what I had left, you know. And then Jenn, the taxidermy witch, you've got jokes. It says here, how did you dress when you were 21 during the pub years? Honey, by the time I was 21, I had 2 kids and I was married, and I was definitely dirt poor, but I never went to any pubs or bars. I did one time, like, I wanted, like, because kids my age were still kids. They didn't have kids, you know, and I missed out on all that, you know, because I got married so young and had my baby so young. But I did leave my kids with my mom one time, and I wore some kind of, like, really funny psychedelic shirt, and my, tried to be cool again like in high school and wear my flare leg jeans. And that was back when those foam parties were popular. Do y'all remember that? In the early 2000s. And so like it was like this bar for like younger adults, and they filled it up with foam and had the black lights and everything going, the music, but everyone was literally just standing there. And I was like, you know what? I could be at home with my babies. So I was like, it's okay that I missed the pub years, as Jen calls them. So then around 25, you know, by then I did have a little bit of a job, so I could buy myself some clothes and everything. And so I tried to be cute. Yeah, cute. Okay, here's the thing about this. Like that movie Liar Liar with, the funny guy, Jim Carrey. Yeah, I love that movie. And me and my mom would watch it, and I would be like, I'm like his wife or ex-wife or whatever. And I would be like, I love the way she dresses. Like she wore the loose-fitting clothes, like very like plain earth tones, you know, and just very flowy. And I was like, I'm gonna dress like her when I'm grown. You know, when I get a job and everything, I'm gonna dress like her. And like, sure enough, like years later, my mom was like, you remember when you said that? She's like, I see that a lot in you, you know, because I like the big flowy cardigans and like the loose pants and everything. So that is pretty funny. No tight clothes for me at all. And then current, I just wear my muumuus, my little Carly dresses. It's all about comfort. All right, 21. Number 21. Did you believe in magic as a child? What age did you stop believing in magic? And what age did you restart? Will you teach your children magic? So, yeah, I totally believed in magic as a kid. I would stay out. I remember probably being about 6 years old, being in my yard, and my grandma would always talk to me about the fae and the fairies and everything. So I would try it at dusk, you know, because I always heard you can see them better at dusk. So I would wait and I would watch and try to catch the light just right, and I just knew, like, I would leave like gifts, and I would like talk to the fae, and I just knew one of them was gonna like present themselves to me. We were gonna be best friends, and like I spent countless hours trying to get in touch with a fairy, but no fairy ever came and talked to me that I know of. And then like, remember in the 90s when those magic eye posters were popular? Like I would like put them down, like in the holographic posters, I'd put it down on the floor, and then like I would climb up on my dresser and like try to like jump into the vortex like Alice in the Rabbit Hole or something. Like I did that probably until puberty. Like I just knew one day I was gonna go through into that other realm. I just knew it. Like I knew it. If I just tried hard enough, if I kept practicing, somehow the magic would be right, and I would go into like, I don't know where, another dimension, some kind of magical place, Alice down the rabbit hole, I don't know. But like I literally believed that for so long. And then of course my grandma said she was a witch, and she would do these magical things that, you know, they were probably just sleight of hand, but to me as a child that was real. And so yeah, I grew up believing in magic. I believed in my grandma's magic. I don't think I ever really truly stopped believing in magic. I just got like distracted with the mundane world. But you know, I've seen too much, and I've seen miracles and things that can't be explained. And even if I've never gone through a magic eye poster to another dimension or talked to a fairy, like I know that's real. I know, you know, anything is possible. So now I'm just able to, as I've started this path, like I'm able to try again, you know. I'm not as distracted by the real world. And my kid, like, my kid started his witchy path before I did. And I feel bad now because I wasn't as supportive, because I wasn't there yet. And I was leery. But now I'm doing some of the same things that my kid was doing a year or two before me. So it's been really great that we're able to come together and support each other's witchiness. And yeah, I totally teach my kid. My kid teaches me to be witchy, and I teach my kid to be witchy. And what I am most excited about, you guys, I know I'm only not even 40 yet, and my kid's only 17. It better not happen for a while, but I'm going to be the most amazing grandma. Like, I'm so inspired by my grandma, but I didn't have, like, things to remember my grandma and her magic by. And so I am already preparing, like, now for when I do have grandchildren. Like, I make these puppets, you know, that I want my grandkids to make and play with. And I have, let me show you. I have I have tons of these things of buttons, because my grandma had buttons and rhinestones and all kinds of little collections like that I was able to play with and go through as a kid. And I want that for my grandkids. And I want my grandkids and I to go out in the garden and have a fairy garden and leave offerings for the fae. And it's going to be so magical. So yeah, definitely. I never stop believing in magic. And I'm going to teach my grandkids not to stop believing either. So, all right, that was number 21. Are we done? Is that it? That might be it. Wow, guys, we did it. All right, so that was hashtag GetToKnowAWitch, video response to my sweet, sweet, lovely, beautiful, amazing, magical friend. I'm so honored to call her my friend, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch. So check out her channel, and check out the other awesome witches in our community who have joined in this fun hashtag GetToKnowAWitch. So thanks for listening, especially to my rambling. Blessed be. I love you guys. Bye.